Her Chickasaw maternal grandmother, Nancy Love, noticed in the child an unusual ability to sing and gave her the name Ataloa, meaning little song.
Ataloa was very interested in what her grandmother had to tell her about the Chickasaw tribe, and she remembered these stories her entire life, and they became part of what she passed on to future generations.
While completing her education in New York City, Ataloa fostered a friendship with Te Ata that she would cherish throughout her life.
And Te Ata and her actually lived together while they were in New York, being two young Indian girls that didn't like all the things that the white man did all the time, including the way he furnished his apartment. So they took an unfurnished apartment and would make things from crates and used tables and pillows and everything, and that's they tried to do things to remind them of home and to remind them of their heritage. She went back and became a part of the staff at Macon University.
She had a number of goals in mind at that time. One of those goals was to establish an art department, and she decided that she would go out and raise the money herself, and she toured the country. She would write press releases herself, send them out to the cities that she planned to tour. Always, the review in the paper the next morning would be very flattering, and she was able to get enough money to build that Indian lodge, which would house the art department at Macon. So not only did she found the art department, but she also built the building around it. In 1950, Ataloa is one of the founders of the Idlewild School of Music and Art. It's located in the mountains close to Palm Springs, California.
The founders of the school, Max and B. Crone, met someone named Ataloa, obviously in the educational world in Los Angeles, and knew immediately that she would be an important person here. And indeed she was.
Ataloa was a very gracious person. She was interested in you as a person individually, and certainly guided you along in the studies that she was directing.
Ataloa was part of the Santa Fe artistic community during the early 60s, and probably would have stayed there for the rest of her life, except that she developed a cancer. Ataloa moved back to Los Angeles. She went into a convalescent home and lived for a few months, where she was reputedly in great pain. But she had a lot of friends by this time. They'd send her letters. They'd come to the convalescent center to entertain her.
On November 11, 1967, in Santa Monica, California, after being ill for more than a year, Ataloa passed away.
What Ataloa brought was this pure artistic spirit. When I walk into Ataloa's studio, and I do this often, there's always one or two students who absolutely embody that spirit.
As the years have continued, folk song, and particularly the Indian cultures, have been a continuing thing here on the campus. It would be a wonderful thing for her to realize what has been accomplished because of the beginnings that she brought us.
Ataloa was not only an artist, she was an educator, she was a lecturer, she was a fundraiser, she was an entrepreneur, she was a publicist, and she also was an intellectual. She left a great legacy, I think, for not only Chickasaw women, but all Chickasaw people.